Time right now in our Princeton Orthopedic Associates studios, 417. This is the Zach Gelb Show, Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. If you want to call into the show, 609-919-9200 is our telephone number. Coming up later on in the show, Sally Cook will join us in addition to Glenn Macnow. And I have 2 tickets to give away to the Rutgers home opener against Howard. Things didn't work out for Rutgers in Washington. Washington blew them out, but we get to see Rutgers come home this weekend and start games at High Point Solution Stadium under the tutelage of Chris Ash. And over the weekend, I was at the Wright Cut, and I saw their grand opening, and that's Tim Wright, the owner of the Wright Cut, which is an awesome barbershop, and he plays tight end in the National Football League right now and is a Super Bowl champion, winning the championship a few years ago with the New England Patriots, and Tim is kind enough to join us on the Zach Gelb Show. Tim, thanks for a few minutes, and how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, Zach. Thanks for having me, man.
Well, thank you for coming on, and that was an awesome event over the weekend as you open up the Wright Cut, and it's a beautiful barber shop. I saw the inside of it. It's going to be a happening place on campus, but I love the story that you were telling us, how a bad haircut actually developed your interest in cutting hair. Tell the listening audience a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it actually started with a bad haircut that I got when I was 13 years old, and my dad went out and brought a pair of clippers, and he was like, this experience will never happen again. And the clippers was always in my room just sitting there, and like one day I was like, let me pick these clippers up and see if I can actually cut my own hair. And I cut it, and it came out like a barber cut it from when I was younger before that bad experience. And from that day on, it was all she wrote. Prior to that, I was always big into artistry, and I used to draw a lot, hanging pictures on the wall of my drawings and stuff. So I always had a trusted hand, and I believed in what I could do with my art. So it just transpired into actually putting a pencil down, putting the paper down, picking up a pair of clippers and using it on my head and my friends, family, and everybody.
That's amazing, because every time when I'm in that barber chair, no matter what the barber is, I always think to myself, I wonder if they ever mess up. And I hope when they mess up, it's not on my hair, because, I need my hair and I need it to look good when I go out at places. Have you ever messed up giving a haircut?
No, I actually never had a bad experience giving somebody. Literally, like, I feel like a mistake that a barber, if they're a really good barber, they can kind of fix the mistake throughout the haircut, and the finished product will always come out good. So, grateful I never had a bad experience with cutting someone's hair and they didn't like it, or it came out real bad.
And I was talking to a few people that I know that went to Rutgers, Abdul Smith, and he said that you used to cut hair in the dorm rooms and at the facility for $10. I think the haircut cost people. So when you were at Rutgers, it seemed like this is when the idea of the store that you opened, the Wright Cut, really came to fruition.
Exactly. I was cutting hair my whole time at Rutgers, from the day that we got on campus as freshmen. I redshirted my freshman year, and all the way through my senior year, I actually ended up getting a barber chair from Coach Flood down in the locker room, because the first 4 years I was just cutting on a fold-out chair, and my name became so big with the Wright Cut, and I was cutting everybody in the program, literally, like coaches, kids, the trainers, equipment staff, all the players, regular students as well, and they just blessed me with a high performance chair, and I was so grateful. And I finished my career there with being a team barber for 5 years, and it just, like I said, started off in the dorm room, then went into the back lounge room and the bathroom, and then that's all she wrote. So I'm real excited about being able to cement my name and leaving a lasting legacy on campus, and that was my whole goal.
Let's just say you had a big strength and conditioning day and Coach really worked you very hard. Do you ever think, you know what, maybe I'll put a few crazy lines in the back of his head to get back at him?
No, I never thought about that. Like, my strength coach was one of my main customers. Like, literally every week they'll come. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe since I gave him such a good haircut, he kind he looked at me and let me like just be on the side and not yell so much.
We're talking to Tim Wright, and now the owner of the Wright Cut, was there this weekend. Beautiful place, and an NFL tight end, Super Bowl champion. He joins us right now on the Zach Gelb Show. So tell the listening audience what they can expect when they come and pay a visit to the Wright Cut and get their hair done by your great staff.
The main thing that I want to create is consistency. I want the shop to embody who I am. I'm a person that will always be the same way, outgoing, great conversation, talk about anything, and give a great service. And that's what the atmosphere is going to be created like. It's red and black. It kind of fits my past and also fits the Rutgers, school spirit colors. There's going to be TV screens in there, monitors. Your haircut when you come in there might be up on the monitor for the cut of the week. You'll be getting great perks with the service and the things that we're trying to build in the model, and it's just going to be a great time. Like I said, it's a location where it's in the middle of campus on Livingston campus at Rutgers, and it's a whole bunch of people all the time on game day. You could come in there and get a great haircut, go to the game, and feel fresh.
Well, that's absolutely awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So let's talk a little Rutgers right now. I know things didn't go over too well for them in Washington, but that's a tough first matchup, very far away, and a top 15 team in the country. But early on, what are your impressions so far and your interactions with Chris Ash?
Yeah, literally during my whole opening, that's when the game was going on. So I really didn't get to see the game firsthand, but from my sources, they said it was just the first little couple things that went the other way for him. I know they would want to have that, but they did show some spark and some hope for the next game's coming up. So I'm fully confident in him. I'm excited about the game coming up at home, and hopefully that'll be the game that'll give him the spark for the rest of the year.
So with the transition going from one coach to another, how is that transition? Because you've been in a bunch of different NFL teams, and I think you were here for a year of Schiano, and then you saw Kyle Flood come in, and he was already on the staff. But what's that transition like when you have a new head coach for the players?
Yeah, man. I mean, literally my whole career at Rutgers, I had 4 different offensive coordinators, 5 different wide receiver coaches, and in the NFL, I've been on 3 different teams so far, and literally a different coach every year. So it's something where I had to learn about 10 different playbooks in the course of, like I would say 9 years. So literally being able to, flush what you learned the previous year, take up a new philosophy that the coaches are trying to incorporate in the program, and just buy into it, embrace it, and take it for what it is. I'm used to, being able to learn a new system, learn a new playbook overnight, and just being a true student of the game. And that's what really, is credited to my success.
And if Rutgers wants to go back to being a successful program, they're going to have to excel in the recruiting area of things, especially get talent that's not only good enough on the field, but also off the field for Big Ten standards. So you played at Rutgers. You had a very good experience there. You've won a Super Bowl now in the National Football League and have a big business. What kind of opportunities could just derive? What would you maybe tell a kid that is considering Rutgers on why they should go to Rutgers?
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity there. I know, it's one of the biggest schools in the Northeast. We're really getting on the map in all the areas. We just stepped into the Big Ten as far as the sports, and academically it's one of the best curriculums in the country. So it's in a place where, I'm a guy that really loves the 4 seasons that we have here in New Jersey, and you get to experience all different type of things, whether you're coming from the West Coast or you're coming from the South. All these things you get to experience along with meeting great people, networking, and, it's just a prime location. And, anybody from a regular student or a student athlete that's looking at Rutgers is a place where you can really get a lot of things out of it if you really dedicate yourself and work hard in your career there.
We're talking to Tim right now. A few more questions with the former Rutgers product and now in the NFL. So, Tim, I know that you're going to be out for this season. You just signed a new deal with Detroit, but you suffered a bad injury. Just how are you feeling right now, and where are you in that recovery process?
I'm actually feeling great. I'm about 2 months out now, and things are really moving along fast, and I'm getting great feedback from the organization, great feedback from my training staff, and it's just keeping me very optimistic for everything to look forward to in the future. So I'm really ready to go and watch and see my team play on Sunday, and hoping the best for the whole organization.
And how is Coach Al Golden? I know he's coaching the tight ends there in Detroit.
Right, he's a great guy. I mean, from the whole quick happening of the new coaching staff transpiring, he gave me a call and we spoke, and it was just like we knew each other before. But he's a great guy. He really loves and have a high passion for the game, for what he does in coaching and affecting the players. And I brought into his coaching style, and I'm excited about what we got.
And I've been tracking your career since you played at Rutgers, and I'm a Patriot fan as well, so I saw you in New England. But I knew you had a very good start in Tampa, then you win a Super Bowl with the Pats. But like we were talking about, you've been jumping around being a journeyman in this league, and you're still trying to find that long-term home, and maybe it is Detroit. But with all that being said, you've always had a chip on your shoulder, being a 3-star recruit, then being undrafted in the National Football League. Is that a chip that just still is always on your shoulder every day, that you just want to prove people wrong and, hey, that you can make it and have a long, successful career in the National Football League?
Man, I just love the game. I love to play football. I love the feeling that you get when you score touchdowns. I love catching first down, making big plays, and just beating the defender at the end of the day. All the other stuff I can't control, you know what I mean? But it's just who I am. That's my personality. I work hard at what I do. I dedicate myself totally all the way in, and whatever comes out to it is what I hope for. So that's my motto, and that's how I've been playing throughout my whole life.
What was it like to play with Tom Brady with the year that you spent with him?
It was an awesome experience, man. He's one true professional, absolutely one of the best players to ever play the game, and I learned a lot from him. My locker was literally right next to him, so just seeing what kind of guy he is outside the lines was just experience in his own. Everybody always asks that question. You know what I mean? Like, what's Tom Brady like? Because he's so fierce on the field. But he carries the same passion, with everything that he does. He's just, like I said, truly works hard, and he's a true leader.
And he's so competitive, and he's been the most competitive player I've seen in the game for over a decade, and it's going to be bizarre not seeing him on the field for the first 4 games because of the Deflategate suspension. You were in that locker room for Deflategate. Just what were your thoughts on what happened with Deflategate and Tom Brady missing 4 games?
Yeah, I mean, it was it's something that caught everybody kind of like from the side, and we were just very supportive of our teammate and Tom Brady, our organization, and whatever had came out of it. That's kind of far from removed from this point now. So I had got traded and then went to a different team, so I'm not sure what happened after that, but. It is what it is, man. It doesn't change the person. He'll always be a great guy, and I respect him totally.
And really, with everything that's gone on in the National Football League, there's so many off-the-field issues now, and people wonder if there's going to be another labor strike coming up in a few years with the CBA, and I feel like there's not a lot of trust with the players and the commissioner right now. There's not a lot of good synergy. Do you believe that the players trust the commissioner right now and Roger Goodell?
Man, I think we're under such a fine microscope as players. Literally the only thing we can control is what we do on the field when we go out there. Everything else is kind of like it's in a lot of hands. So, me, myself, personally, I really, don't have too much to say on that issue because I really don't even pay attention to that part like that. But, when things do come up, I just try to take care of it and handle it as best as I could.
All right, Tim, before we let you run, one more time, tell people how they could go get their hair cut from the Wright Cut today and not have any barbers mess up their hair.
Absolutely. So on Instagram, Facebook, the Wright Cut, Instagram, TWCBS. You could go on twcbarbershop.com and log on and stay up to date on information. And if you're there physically, just go to Rutgers University, Livingston Campus Plaza. The Wright Cut will be there. You can expect consistent, excellent grade A service every time.
Well, I'll tell you right now, next time I need a haircut, I'm going to go visit the Wright Cut and get my hair done the right way. But, Tim, we wish you the best of luck in your recovery and best of luck with your new venture for the Wright Cut. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate it, Zach.